Closet. Back in the closet.
All right, monocles at the ready. Hello, and welcome back to Back in the Closet podcast. As you can see from our new set, we are now very, very sophisticated individuals with a very, very sophisticated podcast, if you couldn't tell by our monocles and our teacups. Aren't we, Nana?
Correct.
You might want to hold the microphone a little closer to your mouth.
Oh, all right. That would be correct.
Just kidding. These monocles are not real. I know they were very realistic and fooling everyone, but they are not real.
But very creative.
All right, so because you all asked for it, we have the one, the only, Nana Eubanks back on the podcast. Welcome back in the closet, Nana.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to everyone, and hello again. I'm really happy to be here in this lovely new studio. It is it's very, very nice.
What do you think about it?
I love it. I love it.
What are your favorite parts about the new studio?
It's blue.
It's blue. Yes, everything is blue. That was our
Yes.
central theme going in with this podcast
Yes.
update. Yeah.
But I love the records. I'm familiar with Tennessee Ernie and Freddie Fender. I mean, I like it all. It's very, very creative and very comfortable and cozy and warm.
Good.
And inviting.
I'm glad. So when you saw the records on the wall, you told me you noticed some of those artists.
I did.
Is that correct?
It is absolutely correct. Tennessee Ernie Ford was one of my favorites when I was growing up, and it was my mother's favorite.
Okay, that's nice. What was her favorite song?
Well, he sang this song 16 tons. And what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. And that was her favorite song.
That sounds very uplifting. All right, so to start off the podcast, the viewers loved hearing your stories and some of our wild times. So I just wanted you to tell the story of when we went to Washington together and Washington, D.C.
Yes.
for my graduation trip. Why don't you talk about going to the Holocaust Museum?
Oh, my. That was the trip of a lifetime. Washington is just one of my... I love history and politics, really, and it's just my favorite place. One of my most favorite places. And Josh was so special to... He took me on that trip after his high school graduation, and we made some wonderful, wonderful memories there. But the very first thing we did, and I had this planned out. I mean, I contacted our congressman, who was Spencer Backus at that time, and made all kinds of arrangements for all kinds of tours and this, that, and the third. And well, so the very first thing we did was go to the Holocaust Museum. And then that was, I do believe that everybody needs to go. Everybody needs to see that. But it's very difficult.
Yes.
It's heart-wrenching.
And what did they do at the end?
And at the end, they wanted to sell you souvenirs of the horrific events that happened there. Like, what were some of them, Josh?
It was like, do you want a keychain of one of the shoes of the thousands of people that have died?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I don't think that's going to fit in with my, what are they called? Labubu. I don't think that's going to fit in with my Labubu on my keychain.
Right. I mean, it was so sad. I mean, we were like, when we looked at each other when we walked out and like, why did we do that? You know? I mean, it was just heartbreaking.
We were exiting the building sobbing, and then literally right as we're exiting, they're like, come to the gift shop where you can buy all the sad things about dead children.
Yeah, but I mean, it is a very, very serious, the most serious
it was
event.
really
and it is really good for anybody to go, but
they need to get rid of the gift shop.
Yes, and prepare to be thoroughly just depressed when you leave. But
I think that's the idea.
yeah,
I think that's the idea.
yeah.
And now we have Oompa Loompa in office, so get ready for number 3.
Hey, I got another story I'm going to tell about Washington.
Okay, go for it. Is it about the person that how we
Yes.
almost got kicked out of
Yes.
we almost got kicked out of the Capitol building? Is that what you're about?
Yes. That would be correct. We had a wonderful, I felt like I was somebody special, tour from one of the aides of our congressman.
And just in case you're wondering, Nana was actually the very first insurrection on the Capitol prior to January 6th.
I'm really very respectful and very honored to even get to be there. But we had a wonderful tour, and we did walk right in the front of the lines. We had a wonderful tour guide. Well, so we went and we sat in on the Senate for a while, and then we went to the House, and we did see them pass a bill.
Yeah.
In the House. So that was really exciting.
And I stupidly brought in my cell phone and they said, "No phones, no phones."
No phones, and he pulls out his cell phone and he said, I thought we were going to be arrested. But,
I could see that.
Yeah, if we hadn't been with that girl, we might have been. But anyway, that was very, very interesting to me. But, I said when we went out, the only disappointment was I really wanted to see Paul Ryan, who was the speaker at that time.
And just for people that are our age, Paul Ryan is like our Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, Brooklyn Heights, Sasha Colby.
I don't know if he's on that level now.
Okay, I don't even know what all that means.
To her on this level, yes.
Okay. Well, yes, I really wanted to. I was disappointed that I didn't get to see him on the floor of the House. All right, so now we've come out of the House and the Senate, and we are going back into the Capitol Rotunda. And we're walking up, and I look up right in my face. Who do you think it is? It is Paul Ryan himself. And I don't know. I was just like, I reached up. He was just on me, literally on me. And I reached up and I put my hand on his shoulder. What did I say, Josh? I don't even remember what I said. I was so taken.
I don't think you said anything. I think it was more like...
I think that's what it was. And he just looked at me and he said, "Well, hello."
He did. He said, well, hello there.
Yeah, and it's a wonder because, I had my hand on his shoulder that they didn't grab me and throw me to the floor. But because he was with an entourage, but the Speaker's house is right behind us, not far. So anyway, so I was just thrilled, absolutely thrilled that I did get to see Paul Ryan. And actually, I even got to look at him face to face, and he looked at me. And Josh and the little girl who was showing us on the tour, they were over to the side just in hysterics, laughing at me.
That is funny.
But that was good. That was good. That was the highlight.
I don't think you were a threat. I don't think they thought you were a threat.
Probably not. But that was exciting for me.
Yeah, that was really fun. Okay, so back by popular demand, I have some more questions for you.
Okay.
And I just want you to answer them however you want to answer them. They're very easy questions.
You're going to ask me all those questions?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I don't, okay.
So the first question is, what is your earliest memory?
My earliest memory. I will tell you, I know what that is.
Okay.
I must have been about 3 years old. I have no, I don't know why I remember this, but I do. I must have been about 3 years old. And we lived, my mother and I lived with my grandparents on this big old house on Slava Street in Mobile. It was just real close, or maybe where. It was later demolished, and the Mobile Municipal Auditorium was built there, which has now been demolished again, I understand. Mm. So, but anyway, that's where we were living at the time. And the house had big stone steps going up to it. It was raised up off the ground, and it had lattice work all around the sides, and you could go in underneath it. Well, I remember going in there, and I was never supposed to go up under that house. No telling rodents and no telling what was under there.
Tetanus, bubonic plague.
Yeah. Well, I remember going up under that house and standing there, and I remember Mama and Mama Thelma calling, my grandmother calling me, and I thought, and I just stood there. I didn't answer.
Why didn't you answer?
I don't know. I guess I just wanted to do my own thing.
How old were you?
I was about 3. I was little. This is
You said, I'm 3, I'm going to be under this house, and I'm going to look through the lattice work. I am.
Yeah, I am, said Sam. But that's my earliest memory. I guess I came out eventually. But they weren't in a panic.
I wonder why. Is that why you think it stuck with you? Because they were in a panic?
Maybe so. I probably got my behind tore up.
Okay, so the next question is, who were your childhood friends, and what games did you play?
My best friend growing up, her name was Barbara, and she lived around the corner. She lived around the corner from us. We did lots and lots of fun things together, but we had a wonderful neighborhood, and all the kids played out in the street. We rode bicycles. We skated.
Did you roller skate or rollerblade?
I did. No,
or
the
inline skate?
rollerblades were not back then.
So it's just inline skating?
Yes, it was just roller skating with 4 wheels.
Oh, okay. So rollerblading. Oh, rollerblading is the inline?
Yes,
and roller skating is the one with 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
they didn't have inline skates back then?
No.
I didn't know that.
Oh my goodness, I've seen a lot of innovation. But we played kickball in the street. That was fun. We did all kinds of things that were really fun. Now Barbara and I, we were all into wrestling.
You were into wrestling?
I mean, we were. Bobby Fields and Buddy Fuller and all those.
So
Mario Galento.
So did y'all wrestle each other?
No. We liked professional wrestling.
Oh, okay.
And
I was excited to hear maybe you pulled out some girl's hair one time.
Oh, no.
You didn't try to replicate the... You didn't try to replicate or anything?
Well, actually, I did not. I've never been a real violent type person. But we loved wrestling, and I had an Aunt Mildred, who was the executive secretary to the president of WKRG in Mobile, Channel 5. And they had
Channel 5.
And they had wrestling live on Channel 5 every Saturday night. And Aunt Mildred would get us tickets. And Mom, Thelma, and Aunt Mildred would take us down, Barbara and I, down to the station to see it live. We were all about it. And
who was your favorite wrestler?
Bobby Fields.
Bobby Fields.
He was our Tom Drake. Now,
which one was hotter?
I don't put me on the spot now. I liked Bobby Fields the best. Tom Drake was he's probably still living. He was going to law school at that time, and I understand wrestling to make ends meet while he was going through law school. He later became he became a member of the Alabama legislature.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was sure you were going to say he got CTE, never graduated.
No, he did. He did, actually. And, you couldn't tell me that wasn't real stuff. I mean, it looked like blood and everything. But my daddy, I'd get so upset, and he would say, "It's just a fake." I'd say, "No, Daddy, it's not a fake." "Yes, it is, and if you don't calm down, you're not going to watch it anymore." But that was a big thing.
You just were trying to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I deviated a little bit.
I liked it. Deviation is good here. We specialize in the art of divination. Deviation. Okay. The next question I have for you is, what chores were you responsible for?
Oh, that's easy. Well, when my brothers and sisters started coming along, I was the chief cook and diaper washer.
Ew.
Not really chief, not really cook. I didn't do any cooking. My mother did the cooking. But I did, and we had a washing machine, but we did not have a dryer. And so we did have clotheslines that we hung our clothes on. So I'm the one that Mama washed the diapers in the washing machine, and then I hung them on the line. I hung all the clothes on the line. And then, when they dried, I took them off and folded them and put them away. And you know what I still love? I'd like to have a clothesline today. I love sheets dried on the clothesline. Oh, they're just...
What's the difference?
They're just so fresh. They just smell so good to me. And they're crisp, and they just feel good when you put them back on the bed, almost like they're ironed. But
well, what's stopping you from having a clothesline?
Well, the pool and the hot tub. No more yard.
Shit.
Oh, more yard.
Gotta have a hot tub instead of a clothesline. Damn it.
That was a big trade-off.
And also, we had 4 babies. I was the oldest, and then Denise came 8 years later, and then Tommy 9 years later, and then Owen 18 months later, and then Loli 18 months more later. So we had babies for a long time.
And that's a relief, because when you said diapers, I was thinking, oh Lord, let it not be Depends.
No, they didn't have. There was no such thing as Pampers or Loves or anything like that back then.
It was
you had cloth diapers.
Yeah.
That's all that was available was cloth diapers.
So you got to reuse and then re-sit in your shit.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. But I also was the vacuum person in the house, and believe me, we needed it with 4 babies every day.
We have really come a long way. We went from cloth diapers to bleached assholes. Now that is
I'm
science.
not going to ask you to explain that.
Oh,
Okay.
Lord. Okay, so this is a good segue. So what inventions of technology were new when you were a child?
When I was a child, there were no... Well, there was. TV. We didn't have any TV. I mean, I remember when the first TVs came out. I must have been about 6 or so when TVs first started coming out, and we had a little small we had an RCA TV, box type TV. It was very small. It wasn't much bigger than that computer screen, and it was black and white. There was no color at all. And I loved this show called Boston Blackie.
What was it about?
It was a whodunit.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, it was, and I loved like Howdy Doody.
I know Howdy Doody.
Yeah, and I loved Lassie on Saturday morning and Sky.
Oh, Lassie.
And Sky King.
What was your favorite?
That was a Western. My favorite. I'm probably gonna think of something else after I answer this, but I think it probably was Lassie.
Yeah, the dog.
Yeah, I love dogs. I'm a dog person.
You are. You have a 8-year-old dog?
No, she's 12.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Her name is Suki.
Suki.
And that
she's
means
the
they
cutest
loved.
Pomeranian.
Yeah, she's a sweet girl.
She is sweet.
And then we also have my sister has...
Lumpy.
No, his name is not Lumpy.
His name is Lumpy.
His name is Murphy.
Lumpy.
Named after Murphy High School, where my sister and I went to school.
He was renamed. I was the first owner, and I named him
was the first
Lumpy.
owner. But he's a sweet...
But he
What is
pisses
he?
everywhere.
What
He's
is
a
he?
Yorkie.
Yeah, he's a Chorkie.
A Chorkie, a Yorkie Chihuahua.
Yeah.
So that means he has
Sweetest
really bad
dog.
anxiety, and he yaps all the time.
Oh, he's a sweetest dog, though. Just the sweetest, most loving dog.
She's lying.
I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. It's the T.
Love.
Okay, so the next question is, what was the biggest trouble you got yourself into in middle or high school?
Oh, dear. I can answer that one, too. Well, I was dating who would become my husband. And my daddy was very strict. He was not strict with the other 4, but I guess he had to learn from me. He was very, very strict. And so we wanted to just ride over across the bay to Fairhope and walk on the beach. One Friday night, I could only go out on Friday night. I could only have a date with him when I had a date with somebody else. Back and forth, back and forth. So we wanted to go over and walk on
So
the...
basically, she was a player.
I didn't want to be. But anyway, Daddy told me we couldn't go. So we went anyway.
Oh.
And when I walked in the door, I never got away with anything. I never got away with anything. And as soon as I walked in the door, Daddy knew that we had been to Fairhope. And I had to listen. My daddy, I'd rather him beat me to death than lecture me, which he loved to do for hours on end. And that's really the biggest trouble I ever got into. And he told me years and years later, after we'd been married for 25 years, he told me that he really didn't know that we'd been to Fairhope, but he said, "You can't lie." He said, "All I got to do is bluff you and you'll come clean."
Now that is a dick move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give us a little impression of the lecture?
Oh, no, I cannot. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I cannot.
Let's do a little charades moment.
Nope. I'm going to tell you that was a traumatic event. When my daddy started lecturing you, that triggers me, even to think about it.
Okay, so what did your first date look like?
Oh, my goodness. It was awesome. Now, my husband and I, we met. It was with Gary, my husband, and we met at Murphy High School. He was a junior, I was a sophomore, and our very first date was the weekend after I was 16. He was 17, I was 16, because I couldn't date till I was 16. That was the rule. So we had our first date that weekend, and we went to Ladd Stadium to a McGill football game because Murphy wasn't playing that week. That's what we did. It was awesome. And then we went to McDonald's, which was kind of a new thing at that time. Mm-hmm. And we got hamburgers and Cokes and French fries.
Was the Coke better than it is today?
Yes, it was. It was better. My brother, he worked for Coke for many years, and so they made, the recipe was different then. I don't know what it was, but that Cokes don't taste well. For one thing, they were in a bottle back then. Mm-hmm. Of course, at McDonald's, they were in a paper cup like they still are. But that was another thing I'd get in trouble for, because I thought I had to save every single thing from every single date. Honey, I had a whole big old bags of used McDonald's cups in our closet in the bedroom, and they drew roaches.
Jay would about had a fit.
You'd be gone with you, Jay. And I had to get rid of them, and it broke my heart.
I would have got rid of them for you if it was the roaches.
Well,
they got found and they said, "Cheryl, what are you doing with the giant bag of trash
right.
in your closet?"
That's about exactly how it went.
Oh, roaches! I would die.
Well, we were surrounded by huge trees and all anyway. So, but yeah, I did that. I sure did.
So,
because I left us. I'm very sentimental.
I know.
You wouldn't believe all the things I have little notes that you have written me throughout the years and stuff.
We need to look through those sometime.
Oh, I got them.
Maybe one time we'll look through them for the podcast. A couple of them.
Okay.
Okay. So, who made the first move in your relationship?
He did.
He did? How did he do it?
How did he do it? Okay. Well, this is how we met. On rainy days at Murphy, the girls had a gym, the boys had a gym, mm-hmm. Separate gyms. It's a huge school. There was over 1,000 people in my senior class. Okay, so we played on rainy days. We played. We square danced it was great fun because I would love to have been a dancer, but I mean, because I've always liked to dance, but never really had the opportunity. But
Well, my professor says the only difference between a dancer and a non-dancer is somebody who says they're not a dancer.
is that right? That's very thought provoking. I met him last night.
You did?
I did. I enjoyed that very much.
Good.
Yes, and I told him that you had said that you had learned so much from him.
Yes, dance-wise. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, so what we would do, all the boys would line up, all the girls would line up, and then you would just go, and I mean, that's how you would just randomly get a partner. I mean, you just pair off with the next person in line. Okay, so we square danced several times. He always, and then after that, you could pick who you wanted to square dance with. Well, he kept coming back to me, but he didn't talk.
He didn't talk?
No, he didn't talk.
Well, that doesn't sound like he made the first move.
Well, I'm fixing to tell you. We square danced for a few times. Then one day, I was walking. I can take you to that spot right today, right at the front door of the admin building at Murphy High School. I was going in because I had several classes in that building, and he came up, and I was about to go in the door, and he came up behind me and put his hand on my elbow like that, and started talking to me and asked me what I like and if he could call me.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then
Can I call you?
And then one thing led to another.
That's so cute. And he called you on a landline, I would assume.
Oh, that would have been like a space invention or something. That was cell phones were not even in anybody's thought process at that time.
Right.
Yes, absolutely on landline.
He called you on the phonograph?
No, sir. It was a big old black television. Telephone that we had. We had a telephone table in the hall. Most people did back then, and the telephone was on it, so that you couldn't have a private conversation. That wasn't allowed.
No private conversations.
No, that was not allowed. Everybody had to be able to hear what you were saying. But and I could talk for 15 minutes. And then my daddy would say my 15 minutes was up, and if I would hang up, he would come hang it up for me.
He said, you were on the phone, you said, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you. Your dad said, no, I'll hang up.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
How did you navigate disagreements or tough times as a couple?
Well, I will be honest with you. We had very strong faith, and we did, and we trusted in God to show us the way. However, we were very honest with each other. And we did have some tough times, as every married couple does. But we would never, for example, just to give you an example, we didn't make big decisions. He didn't make a big decision without me. I didn't make one. We made them together. We made all our decisions together. We wouldn't even spend over about $20, which $20 is a lot of money. Is a lot. Back then,
equivalent to today would have been a lot.
Right, yeah. Right. We didn't.
What era was that? Like, what?
60s. We got married in December of 67.
Okay, so let's see what the equivalent of that is. I'm curious to know.
Okay. But we made money decisions
together. You said 1960?
1968, actually, because we married in December of 67.
To $20, 1968 today. Okay, so that would have been about $186.19 today.
Really?
$186. So that's a $200 purchase is significant.
Yes, it is.
If we make anything about $200, if you saw a charge for $200 and I
What?
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Well, why did I know about that?
Yeah.
But we didn't make we made those decisions together. If we were going to buy a car or a house or any kind of purchase, really, if he was if I had a problem or he had a problem with it, we just didn't do it. But we didn't argue about it. That was the way we did business,
Right.
And but we shared a lot of things. He loved to go to the grocery store. I never went to the grocery store by myself. He always went to the
That's a
grocery
man
store.
after my heart.
He
I love a
loved
grocery store.
Yeah, well, and we always went to the grocery store together, and he liked to cook like you too.
Ooh,
And he
what was it? What did he make that was really good? What was
he-
your favorite?
Oh, what was my favorite? Let me just think about that. He made really good. He made really good spaghetti. He made really good spaghetti, but he really could cook about anything. But I'll tell he had. But
Do you
you
ever
got
make beef stroganoff?
Huh?
Do you ever make beef stroganoff?
I have never made beef stroganoff.
I love beef stroganoff.
Denise makes
That's a poor people meal, but it's good.
Well, talking about poor people, when he was in college, when he was going to the University of South Alabama, we were poor. We lived in student housing up behind the school, married student housing, and we paid like $40 a month for the rent.
That is crazy.
And it was a neat little house. I mean, it was like 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Houses back then only had 1 bathroom.
Which, you know what is crazy about that too? You said you paid about $40 a month.
Yeah, we did.
And equivalent, based on what we just saw, would have been under $400 a month. Oh, it was at $180.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it'd been a little under $400 a month. Could you imagine if we paid under $400 a month for a house today?
Wow,
That'd be crazy.
That doesn't happen, does it?
No.
Yeah, but yeah, life was very different, very very different back then.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and what I was going to tell you
Oh,
is,
yes.
what I was going to tell you is, we had to make grocery money go a long way. We had to stretch it, and we had tuna casserole a lot back then, and we'd have one chicken, and you'd cut the chicken up back then, and you couldn't recognize what it was when I cut a chicken up, but anyway, we'd make that chicken go a long way. But we'd have tuna casserole a good bit, and he hated tuna casserole. And as soon as he graduated, he said, "Do not ever bring a can of tuna in this house again."
He said, "If I see a tuna, we're getting a divorce."
Divorce.
Divorce, yeah.
Divorce.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. The next question I have for you is, if you could redo one moment from adulthood, would you, and why?
Would you, and why? If I could redo, I'm not sure I would, but there is one thing I really wanted to go to college. I wanted to, and that's the biggest regret, really, that I've had. I would make a way somehow to do that, because I value knowledge and learning, and that I've still, I'm an avid reader. I still like to learn something new every day. I've read smart people have said, it's a wasted day if you don't learn something new. And I believe that. It could be it don't matter. It could be anything. And I believe that. And I have, I've taken some college courses, and I've got, a certification in software applications from UAB, and a photography certification from Sanford. I've taken a few other just individual courses at UAB, like Spanish, which I didn't learn a thing. But anyway, my friend that was going with me, in the middle of it, she leaned over to me and said, "Now, why are we doing this?"
You said, "No habla español."
Yeah, that's about right. But anyway, we did it. So, I've done what I could, but I would love to have had a degree.
Well, your time is not done.
Oh, well.
You could get a degree. You still could.
Thinking probably not, but
you never know.
You could.
Yeah.
There's people all the time that do. Like, you see it all the time.
Do they?
I think someone that was like 90 years old got a degree.
Oh, my word.
You want to know something pretty incredible? There's a girl named Kim Hale, I think her name is. I might be wrong. But she wanted to be a dancer on Broadway. for many years, and she gave up on her dream fairly early in her career, and she is 60 something years old, and she just booked her first Broadway gig a little bit ago, and she's been in New York
Really?
City pursuing her dream, and she's good.
That is incredible.
Isn't that incredible?
That is good for her. I hope that works out wonderfully for her. That's awesome.
Same. She has a little thing on her TikTok where she keeps everybody informed about what audition she's doing and like how
Oh.
her career is going and stuff like that. That's really cool. And I can't remember what it's called, but it's something like Never Too Late or something like that
Oh.
is like her channel name.
Yeah.
Um,
How do you think?
what?
Students would react to a 79-year-old freshman?
I think they would love it, honestly. I would love it.
Some of them probably be intimidated.
Yeah, I think they would be intimidated.
Oh, I'd be the intimidated one.
Because
No.
they're like, oh, you know life. You know
Yeah.
life. We don't know life. You have your stuff together. We don't know nothing.
Right.
You can do your taxes. We've never done that.
That's what I went through with these kids in this class I just took. And then we had our professor suggesting tax evasion. I was like, okay, guys, the accountant in me is screaming, no, 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 no. Let's do our taxes properly. Let's get an accountant.
Yes, we do not want to mess with the IRS.
He admitted in class, he was like, yeah, one time I did my taxes wrong and I owed $10,000 in a year.
Oh, shoot.
But here's some tax advice. And I was like, maybe not. Okay, so the next question I have for you is, how did you feel when you became a parent?
How did I feel? It was so wonderful and so overwhelming to realize that you now hold the life of another human being in your hand. But I remember very clearly the first time I held your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you said, oh, this one's going to be a booger.
It was wonderful.
Oh.
It was wonderful. I loved being a mother. And you always make mistakes, but you do the best you can, the best you know to do at that time.
Well, I actually wrote a poem for you.
You did?
I did. It goes like this. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody gets that way.
You are crazy.
I did not write that. Those are wise words from Hannah Montana.
Oh, I love it. I love it. But motherhood is wonderful. And grandmotherhood is even better.
I know. We're working on it. We're working on it.
You cannot stand him. Who can?
And hopefully my children won't be able to stand me either, so I can send them off to Nana's.
Oh, man.
Okay, what were some family traditions that you started?
That we started?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the biggest one that I can think of is that we had some issues in our family. Probably when your dad was 5 or 6. My mother and dad separated and divorced, and mother was not in the picture anymore, and so we started having every Sunday at our house.
Mm-hmm.
I cooked Sunday dinner for Daddy and my grandmother.
Did you make a pot roast?
Mama Thelma. I thank the Lord that was about the time crock pots came into being. Yes, sirree. I burn up about 3 crock pots. I wore them out. But anyway, my daddy would come and my grandmother and my siblings.
Mm.
And then as they got older, they would be they got married and their spouses came. And then they had children and they came. So, we turned into, about 25 people.
Oh, wow.
Cafeteria.
Yeah.
And so, and now it's so much bigger than that. I mean, but I loved that. And I would get up at the crack of dawn. Sometimes I would get up in the middle of the night. I mean, to prepare what I could, because we'd go to church and come home, and then everybody would start coming over, and so I would have to,
Start
get everything
prepping.
ready as quickly as I could. But those were special times.
Yeah.
Those were real special times because we'd get together every Sunday. My grandmother was in a nursing home part of that time before she died, and my daddy would go get her. He was so sweet, so good to her, and he would go get her from the nursing home and bring her to the house so she could eat with us. And then he'd take her to Pullman's Bakery, which is
I know. It's delicious. We've been there.
Yeah. And he would buy her eclairs every Sunday to take back to the nursing home with her because she loved her some eclairs. My daddy was so good to her. And so those were really special times.
You know what's so sad to me is that people don't treat their families right anymore.
I know it. They don't.
And I might cry. It's gonna make me cry. It's kind of sad. People don't have like things like that anymore, where they spend time with their family, and they don't want to. Everybody doesn't want to agree to come to one place anymore and spend time with each other, and that's really sad.
It truly is.
It is
because
sad.
Family is so important. I mean, it's just so.
Sorry,
important.
I don't know why that got me really upset, but
one time when your dad was in college and we were on the way to Indiana to take him back to school, he and I were driving together, and your papa was driving in front of us with a truck full of his stuff. That truck that you got in that time and didn't know what those windows were that you rolled down?
Yes, the one with the little swishes on the side. I have a T-shirt now that has that same design.
Oh, really?
The little blue and purple.
Yeah. Do you?
Yes, I have a shirt that it's a very like that. Because it used to be the logo on like Solo cups or something, and now the design has come back. It's popular again.
Oh, for goodness sake! How about that?
It's like on vintage T-shirts.
But anyway, I was asking your dad. We were just talking. And I asked him what his favorite childhood memory was, and he said that Sunday afternoons when everybody would come over.
How could it not be? Yeah. I mean, that just sounds so fun.
Yeah.
I wish people would do that more. Yeah. That's something that I'd like to start when we have a family.
Does that with our family.
Yeah. I think that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Big beans and rice.
Oh,
every Sunday.
Well, she cooks what now?
Lima beans and rice.
Oh.
Every Sunday.
My grandmother used to cook lima beans and rice. I thought that was the best I ever put in my mouth, and she'd fix cornbread. I cannot fix cornbread like her to save my life, but those are awesome memories, and those are some good beans. Them lima beans, wow.
Lima beans, yeah.
She would be so funny.
She would. She would be scared to death just like me.
Well, what's to be scared about? All you're doing is sitting in a room with us chatting.
I know it.
It's not scary.
I know, but I know it's going to go
Jay gets stage fright every time. He just freezes up.
Sometimes I do.
Well, I do. I can't. Yeah.
He just, when the camera...
If you never told me I could do this, I would have said,
You're so good at it,
No way, Jose.
You are so good at it, though. You just good at talking and sharing. So...
Thank you for that word of encouragement.
Well, you are good at it. I mean, literally everyone has asked me. Jay will tell you I'm not lying. Literally everyone asked me, when is she coming back on the podcast? We want to hear more from Nana. Get her back on the podcast.
Oh, my word.
Okay. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a hard question. But what kinds of discrimination or barriers did you face at work?
At work?
Mm-hmm. And preface it with what you did for work too before you jump into that.
Okay. Well, I worked at the telephone company for 33 years as an employee, and then I contracted after that. Now, those 33 years, especially the early ones, were a little bit difficult. Things were different back then, really. It was very strict environment, and they would. There were rules set in stone, and you were always scared to death you were going to break one of them. And if you did, they would write it up. You would get a warning. They would write just similar to the way they do now, but except that they were very, very strict. And they had this thing called a CM. And also they listened. They monitored your calls, spot checked, monitoring your calls. When you didn't know they were listening. I was a service representative. I took orders for telephone service and billing questions and, correction of billing errors and all that kind of thing. And so if a customer called in mad, which they, and also we had to suspend people's telephone service for non-payment of the bill. Well, that didn't make them very happy. Well, you could not have a customer be unhappy with you. You had to somehow or another bring a resolution for them and make them be pleased with the service that they were getting. And if they happened to be observing and the customer hung up unhappy, that was a CM, which means customer mistreatment. And they would write you up for it. And that was a bad thing.
That is a bad name for that. Customer mistreatment.
Yes.
Like we were abusing
the customer.
Yeah.
God, that's horrible.
Yeah, but you were scared. It's almost like being in the Army. And the supervisors were the sergeants.
That's crazy.
I am not kidding about that.
And that was with Bell South.
Well, it was Southern Bell when I went
Southern
to work.
Bell, okay.
And it later changed to Bell South, and then AT&T at divestiture when the government split up the Bell system. But it was a pretty strenuous and difficult environment to work in back then. It really was.
As far as discrimination goes, did you face any being a woman in the workplace?
Well, I would say not really, because we didn't have any men. We didn't have any men service representatives. There was
Really?
no, there was not a man until many years later, almost before I retired. My friend that I told you that had AIDS and passed away, and I went to his funeral. The church, we passed it the other day, and I told Josh I had gone to church. He was one of the very few men service reps that I ever worked with, and that was later. That was 20 years in. I worked with, but I was working, but the men were almost. It was always the men were managers.
Well, that's what I was about to say. In a way,
Yeah.
the discrimination was that women were always the service representatives,
Yes.
whereas the men were probably always in charge of
Absolutely.
said service representatives. Yeah,
Absolutely. But now it was the supervisors who were women who were the most that you feared. You absolutely feared them.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to have for many, many years the most wonderful manager. He was a man, but he was wonderful. He was easy. He never gave us any kind of never put us in a difficult position. He let those women do his dirty work for him. But he always would say, I appreciate you, make me look good. He would come around hugging us.
He was making the supervisors do the stuff that he did, so that way he would look better and they would look worse.
Yeah. Right. But he was a sweetheart. We loved him. But he was the best manager I ever had. But I might mention this to you too. I worked with the first black service representative that was ever hired at the telephone company in Mobile, for sure. Her name was Trudy, and she was real sweet and very smart, very smart.
What year was that? Do you remember?
That was in the that was Let me just think about that. If that was before I got married or after I got married. Could have been in the early 60s or the late 60s. It was in the 60s.
Okay. Wait, so when she was hired on, do you remember, did y'all still have segregated bathrooms?
We we did not have. We probably did in we probably. When was the Civil Rights Act passed?
60, 65, 68. I just know from Hairspray that song, Hey Mama, welcome to the 60s.
Well, I'll tell you, she didn't have
I
one.
think it was the middle to late 60s, I want
Okay.
to say. Am I right, Jay? Jay's looking it up. I just want to get their date right. 64. Okay, yeah. This is mid
64.
60s, yeah.
It was probably right around then. It could have been the late 60s when she came to work with us, but she never had a separate bathroom, and we never,
Okay.
and we never, she never, we
Well, if she
never
didn't have a
treated her
separate
badly.
bathroom, then if she didn't have a separate bathroom, then
No.
then that would have been post
Yeah,
segregation.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But
That
I
had to be.
remember when there were separate bathrooms. I remember going to and I remember feeling so bad. I rode the bus a lot when I was growing up, and even after I was an adult, I rode the bus a pretty good bit, and I always felt so bad that those people would go to the back of the bus and sit. You know, I mean, I always knew that was very, very wrong.
Yeah.
Very, very wrong. And I remember going to Walgreens. I mean, not Walgreens, but Woolworths and Grants, which were 5 and dime stores, and Cress's, and they had the soda fountains, and they couldn't eat there.
No.
They could not eat there. I remember that very well, and I thought, oh, this is wrong. But they would have white and colored restrooms there. They would have white and colored water fountains. It was horrible.
That is horrible.
It is horrible. It was horrible. But now, when Trudy came, we accepted her like she was real smart, you know. But I remember when she came, but we didn't have any kind of issues with her coming. But I was in a junior in high school when the Mobile County when the first first two black people came to integrate
into
the public
school?
schools. Yes, they came to Murphy, and they were sometimes mistreated. I've seen a few things.
Did you ever catch yourself in a situation where you had to stand up for something that was going on, or did you ever go to any protests or involve yourself or anything like that?
We did not have any protest. I never was where there were any protests. Now, and I never, and I guess I never found myself in any place where, except that I did see a couple of things happen, and I certainly didn't participate in them. And if maybe I should have, but I mean, I didn't allow anything to happen and not do something about it.
Right. Also, I feel like, I mean, at that time, you would have been very young and not still even learning yourself about what was happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not very. You probably didn't understand all of what was going on in high school. I mean,
We didn't comprehend how big of a thing that was. We did not. But I remember the girl. She was in my Henry Hobdy was the boy's name, and I cannot remember her name. He was in my chemistry class, and he was very, very smart. That's the hardest. That's the only course I ever had trouble with in school was chemistry. My mind was just, I had a hard time getting it. But he was really smart, and he was very quiet. And she sat close to me in study hall. We had assigned seats in that big auditorium at Murphy. But she sat close to me. She was very quiet. I never heard her say anything. and I felt so sorry. I would have loved to have been their friends.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have the opportunity to do that. I mean, there was no opportunity to do that. I mean, there was always a bevy of sheriffs and policemen around them. Walked with them
Really?
everywhere they went. Oh yeah, you couldn't get close to them. There were policemen and sheriff's deputies and all, and everywhere at that school. There was,
So it's almost like they were integrated for the first time, but they were being almost prevented from really being able to be
apart.
integrated. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's horrible.
It is.
I hate
It
that.
is. It is.
So the next question is, how did you manage money when you were younger?
When I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this is what I remember about that. My grandmother.
Here, hold the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hold it down lower if you
I
want
can
to.
hold it down
Yeah.
lower. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up. We didn't know it. My daddy bought that house in West Lawn, and he was scared to death. He's told us this many times. He was so scared. His house note was like $75 a month, and he was so scared he thought he would never be able to pay that house off. And my mother never worked.
Mm-hmm.
Not very many mothers worked out of the homes back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
My generation is when that started.
Right.
So where am I going with this?
How
How we manage money.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So I didn't get an allowance
Mm-hmm.
from mom and daddy, but my grandmother, Mama Thelma, she was big on money management.
Mm-hmm.
Big on money management. Well, she gave me $1 a week.
Okay.
Okay. So I always, when I was growing up, I always took a dime of that and put it in the offering plate at church. I always did that. And you know what I did with a lot of the other? This is crazy. But I've always liked to do this. We had a 5 and dime store right close by the house. We had a little strip mall with a bowling alley and a grocery store and a 5 and dime. And I'd go up there and just buy, and we could buy Evening in Paris perfume for like $15 in that blue bottle that costs no telling what now.
Oh my gosh.
And for like 15 cents. And I would go up there with that dollar and with that 90 cents, and I've always loved to do this. Just buy my mama some perfume and Denise and Owen and Lowly some kind of little color book or something like that.
You've always been.
I've enjoyed.
Always been a giver.
I've just enjoyed that.
You have rubbed off on me like that because I don't care about. I don't want to get anything for birthday, Christmas, or special occasion, whatever.
And that's the way I feel.
I love to give people things that I know they'll like. I get more satisfaction off of the excitement and the thrill that the other person gets from receiving something than I do from getting something.
Yeah.
So.
But Mama Thelma, you made me think about that. She was big. There was no such thing as a credit card back in those days. No such thing.
And I wish there still wasn't.
I know it. We'd be a lot better off if that was the case.
Sure as shit would.
But Mama Thelma did not believe in if you can't afford it, if you can't pay for it, don't buy it.
Yes.
And so she was always talking to me about being thrifty and all. And when I graduated from high school, she had me go up to the Loop. You know where that is in Mobile?
The Loop.
Yeah. Well, there was a Merchants Bank there at that time. It's Regions today, but that bank, I don't even know if it's still there or not. And she signed for me to borrow $100. And but I couldn't spend it. I had to take that $100 and use it and for 1 year, it was financed for 1 year. And I'd have to use that $100 to make the payments every month to build my credit with.
Oh.
Yeah. So, she was big on money management, and she talked to me a lot about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and she called me every month. Did you make that payment?
Did you make the payment?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. We're getting into some fun questions now.
I thought you said 4 more.
These are 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got 2 more. Okay, so, well, sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes you start talking about something and then I think of a question. Some of the tough questions I've asked you haven't been on the sheet.
Ah,
I just think of something when you say it in the moment. I'm like, well, this is a good follow-up question. I just want to know more. Okay, if we were going to cook your favorite meal together, what would we cook and how?
my favorite meal. Now, you know I like to eat.
I know. Same, girl.
I'm not even sure I have a favorite meal. You know,
know
I
what
love Mexican.
You know what they call it now? Like
What?
our generation calls it when you like to eat?
What?
Big back.
Say what? Yes, I know about that too. So, let me see. I'll tell you what my favorite meal was growing up was fried chicken.
Oh, Lord.
White meat. I just like breasts and wings. And rice and milk gravy. My mama and cornbread. And vegetables.
What kind of vegetables?
I like green beans. I like squash. I love squash casserole.
I love squash.
I like as I get older, I'm really not that much of a meat person anymore. I really love vegetables. I love fresh vegetables. I'd say that'd have to be my favorite meal now. Now I do. This isn't a vegetable, but I love macaroni and cheese.
Oh, I love mac and cheese.
Yeah, and
I love a vegetable plate.
Yes.
That's what I used to order that at Lloyd's every time we would go. Get the vegetable plate.
Yes, yes. I love. I think my favorite meal might be macaroni and cheese, fresh homegrown tomatoes, maybe lima beans, squash, cornbread.
That sounds great.
That might be it.
And then, what would the
Hadn't
vibes be? What would we be listening to while we cook?
What would we listen to while we cook?
It's got to be Elvis, right?
Oh, definitely.
No, yes, of course. That's a given.
That's a given, right?
That's a given. I love me some Elvis.
And we might burn a little something or two if we have to take a dance break, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be right.
That's what I feel.
And baby, you the only one that's ever wanted to dance with me.
And I always will. I'll dance with you anytime you want to.
Thank you, baby.
I love to dance. Okay, this is the last question.
Okay.
It's the last question. What has always made you laugh?
You have always you make me laugh.
Oh, that's a cop-out.
No, it's not a cop-out. It's the truth. It is the honest truth, and you do too. You do too. Now, I will tell you, let me just think about this for a second. What has always made me laugh?
Something funny.
Yeah.
Something funny.
I will tell you.
Or you know what?
I'll tell you, Bone Quick cracks me up.
Oh, yes.
I cannot. I will laugh. I've heard that so many times, and I will just about bust my side laughing at her.
Angela Johnson.
Who
you so kindly got us tickets to go see last year, and she was fabulous.
Oh.
She was absolutely fabulous.
And I'm going to tell you, I love Leanne Morgan.
Oh, I love Leanne Morgan to death.
Do her.
I have figured out that, who is it? Is Kardashians that I have to start with to get into it? I think so. So I have figured out that I could do Leanne's accent, right?
Oh, my goodness.
But I figured out the way that you have to get into it is you have to, or the way, at least for me, first I have to start with a vocal fry and do the Kardashians accent. And then I just turn it a little bit country. And then I'm saying to you that I am married to Chuck Morgan, guys. I am. And I have had many children with Chuck Morgan. But these children, y'all, my child is my makeup artist. And she drives me crazy.
Does he not sound like
She would love that.
She
would love that.
Not sound like
Yes,
It's pretty good, I feel like. It's pretty good.
But I love her. She and what she stands for, I mean, she's just funny.
She is funny.
And she talks about just real life
real stuff. Yeah.
I mean, and that's what makes it so funny to me, because I know I identify with almost everything she says.
She is another great example of why you could still get a college degree. She is also somebody who has tried for many years to gain success in her field, and she couldn't find it for a long time, and She's in her
Yeah.
60s now, I think.
I think she's about that.
She's almost
about
60, I think.
Almost 60,
Yeah.
but she's wonderful.
I love her.
I love her. Yeah.
Well, it has been wonderful to have you on the first podcast with our new studio.
Well, it's my pleasure.
And we always love having you on the podcast.
Thank
and I
you,
hope
babe.
we get to have you many, many, many more times on the podcast.
I will look forward to
Because I could listen to you talk about your stories all day. And I wish we had more time. I'm sitting here with these questions. I'm like, I wish I had more questions on the list, but unfortunately I do not.
Well, we've spent a long time tonight. I've probably broken the record.
I think this will be a record-breaking episode.
People will be asleep by now listening to this.
Well, maybe thousands of viewers will tune in to listen to it as they fall asleep. Viewers out there, I'm poor. Please subscribe and follow. And follow Nana's Patreon and her OnlyFans.
Follow Nana's what?
You don't want to know. It's an ongoing joke we have on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
It's real popular, guys.
She loves to sell the feed pics. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Lord. It's an ongoing joke we have on the podcast. We always say, because OnlyFans. Do you know about OnlyFans?
Mm-mm.
It's like not everybody on there is this. Some people, it's a platform where you can watch people's videos, but you have to subscribe and you have to pay a fee to watch their channel.
Okay.
So you pay like $10.99 a month, basically,
Okay.
to watch whoever you subscribe to there.
Okay.
But mostly, not everybody, but most of the time, it's like porn actresses or like people who post risque content, burlesque, or
Okay.
nude photos or
Yeah.
videos or whatever.
Yeah.
And so at the end of almost every episode, me and Jay always say, make sure you subscribe to the OnlyFans and the Patreon. Like, it's just a joke. There is no Patreon or OnlyFans. We have neither of those, but we always joke about, make sure you go follow. We don't have one, but we always joke that we do. So, all right. Do you have any last goodbyes to our, can you, hold on, come here.
Oh, I thought we
come
were
here.
done.
Almost. I need you to do our outro.
No.
You got to say it. You
Nope,
gotta say
not
it.
saying it.
You gotta say it for me. You can
No.
say it as sweet as you want.
No, I'm
Okay,
not saying
well
that.
then say this.
He's asking me to say an ugly word. I'm not.
Okay, hold on. I got you.
That's just as bad.
No.
Bye, sweet people. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, and thank you so much for listening to all our foolishness today.
That was perfect. Cheers.
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 Bye, fuckers. Closet, back in the closet. Closet, back in the closet. Closet, back in the closet. Closet, back in the closet.